Brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
What's going on in your world, Kate?
Hi there. So I have a bit of debt, and I'm kind of new to listening to the Ramsey show, and I'm so glad that I found it.
Hey, welcome to the gang. Welcome to the gang.
Thanks.
I know, that's right.
Hey, we're a weird crew, and so we welcome everybody. We're glad you're here.
When you say weird, John, are you just talking about
No,
you?
all of it. All of it. Very weird. But we're glad to have you. We're glad to have you. What's up?
Thank you. So my husband and I have a bit of debt. I would say he knows probably about 3/4 of it, but he probably doesn't know the amount of some of it. And having listened to the show, I know that I need to tell him, but I definitely need to get like a game plan in place. From now through to retirement. He and I are both state workers in New York, and that's like another question mark too, as far as like, do we hold out for that state retirement and stuff? But we need to take care of what is in front of us first, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, big question here. It sounds like you have some hesitation to even bring this up to him. Am I reading into that wrong?
A little bit, just because we've been together for 14 years, and we are really good. He's known about some of the debt before. We've kind of taken care of it together.
Why do you feel like?
I don't think that.
Sorry, you keep saying he's known about the debt. Is it debt that you're accruing, or is it debt that you're both accruing and he's just kind of mindless about it? Can you explain that a little bit?
Yeah, so it's debt that I'm kind of accruing, and it's kind of twofold. One of them is it's credit card debt, and
does he know,
Kate?
Kate, does he know
about the credit card debt?
Does he know how bad it is?
He knows, not totally.
Okay, I'm just gonna be super honest with you. Okay.
Yeah.
What I heard in your voice when you started talking, my mind immediately went to, if you were having an affair, have you told him the truth about everything? And just a few minutes later, you say, no, I haven't told him everything. So this conversation has been very much about him, about him, about him, about him. I think this conversation is very much about y'all and very much about you. Yep. And it sounds like you're tired of not being fully honest inside your own home with the man you said I do with. Is that right?
Yeah, I would say that that's accurate.
Okay.
Yep.
What else are you not telling him?
That's kind of the main thing is the credit card debt.
How much is it?
It's probably hovering around 15 right now.
Okay. Is he going to be stunned? Is he going to be all angry? What's his response going to be?
I think he'll be shocked. Okay. I think he'll be shocked. I mean, we have good jobs. Like, I think.
Hey, I don't care about that. This is about you've been keeping secrets, and there's a tension, and he's felt that tension. And here's my promise: he has thought in his own weird New York guy way that tension was somehow his fault, and he's probably been trying to fix it for a long time in his weird way.
Well, there might be another side to that, John.
You think?
Here's where Jade's brain goes,
okay.
and only Kate is going to know really where it falls. But I'm interested to what sorts of things are being purchased, because here's the thing: when I walk in with a Target bag, my husband's like, "What'd you get?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I got this thing, or I got this lamp." Or if I walk in with a big shopping bag from Zara, he's like, "Oh, what'd you get?"
So are you hiding stuff from him, or is he just
there's part of me
obtuse?
that's wondering, is he not
paying attention?
Yeah.
No, he sees it. He sees it coming in. He does, for sure. We have 2 kids, so I do buy stuff for the kids.
So he's seeing the house fill up with things. He's seeing the house fill up with things, and he's also not asking questions. So there's some things going on here, John.
It's a both end, yeah. So when you talk about a game plan, the only game plan I've seen work long term is you to change the environment. You got to get him out of your house, and you'll have to go somewhere and have this conversation, because it's going to be a hard one. And you have to say, I haven't been honest with you. I haven't cheated on you. I'd get that out there quick, unless you have.
Right. No.
But I haven't been honest with you, and I want to come clean, and I want us to get on the same page and start getting safe with our money. Here's the truth. And I think that's the way to start. And I think ask him, I'm going to ask you to stay with me on this. I know it's going to be a shock. I know you're going to get upset, and you're right to get upset. I've hidden it from you. Or maybe, like Jade said, maybe he hasn't been a safe place to just come home and say, hey, the kids need some stuff.
Yeah.
And so there's two sides to all this, but somebody has to be courageous off-site and go, here's the truth. We got to build something new.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when I tell you that, what is your body's instant response? Like, no way. Or that sounds amazing to have that out in the open.
Honestly, it's like my body's instant response is relief.
Okay, perfect. That's awesome. Then I want you to set that up this weekend. And Jade can walk you through the actual finances. It feels like $1 million. I don't think you have as much debt as you think you do. I think you have...
it feels like $1 million.
I know it does, but I think it's the weight of the lack of integrity in your home. That's what's weighing on you more than that dollar amount.
Yeah. Is it just the $15,000, or is there other debt laying around as well?
There's other.
So what else do you have?
So having watched the show, I know what's out there. So, so there's about 15 in credit card debt.
Uh-huh.
There's student loans that are about 30.
Okay.
There are 2 other unsecured loans that are about 30.
Okay.
There is our cars, which call it 50.
Okay.
Between the 2 of them.
Can you break those 2 down separately for me? Car 1 and car 2?
Yeah. So mine is about 21 and his is about 30.
Okay. Is that it, or is there's more?
We have a home equity loan.
Okay.
That we haven't spent all of yet. But that when it's done, it'll be about 40, and then our mortgage.
How much is the mortgage?
So our mortgage, we have a lot of sweat equity into our house. So we owe about $220.
Okay.
And if we were to sell it right now, I would think we could get at least $500 for it.
The reason I was asking about that line of credit or loan that you have through the house is if it was more than half, I would save it for later. But since it's pretty low, I'd add it in with your debt snowball, which is what you're going to do to attack this debt. Now, I'm looking at these vehicles. If I'm you, do you offhand, do you know what they're worth?
Mine, I'm upside down in. Unfortunately, I carried some negative equity from the previous vehicle. Thought that I was going to get out from under it with getting something else, and I have not yet.
Yeah, if I'm you, I'm looking at his vehicle. I'm going to try to get out of it. I'm going to try to get out of yours. Even if you're upside down, if you're upside down 5,000 or 6,000, I'm still probably going to take the hit and do that. You guys have got a lot to work through. John is right. It's about getting out of debt, and it's about holding each other accountable going forward. You're not going to get out of this until you guys agree we're both in this. This debt is both of our issue, and we've got to change our behavior and hold each other accountable to whatever plan you guys decide to put in action. This is The Ramsey Show.